this is Dr. Debbie, and this is our God story this week. And this story is from Daisy, one of my patients. And you can look on our Facebook page and see her post, her journey really, where she passed away this last week. And I just met her, and I was there for a routine visit, what we thought. We did some blood work to be cautious, and that led us very quickly to a diagnosis of cancer. And in 2 or 3 weeks, she was at home under hospice care, and then she passed away at home with her family, so in the best way possible. But it was a very fast and turbulent and emotional journey in just a short period of time. And I hadn't really met this family before, so it was very, it's a little bit harder when you don't have a bond with them, but we developed one really fast. And I learned some things through Daisy's journey. One of the things I wanted to share with you is in Numbers 22, there's a story about Balaam and his donkey, and that starts in verse 21. I'm going to read a little bit of it to you, but you can read the whole thing, or you probably already know it. But this is when Balaam was heading out to Balak and the Israelites, and God had already told him not to, but he was going to go anyway. So Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the Moabite officials. But God was very angry when he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the road to oppose him. Balaam was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand, it turned off the road into a field. Balaam beat it to get it back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path through the vineyards with walls on both sides. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it pressed close to the wall, crushing Balaam's foot against it. So he beat the donkey again. When the angel of the Lord moved on ahead and stood in a narrow place where there is no room to turn either to the right or to the left, the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, and it lay down under Balaam, and he was angry and beat it with his staff. I'm going to stop there, but the story ends pretty good. The angel really harshly reprimands Balaam for beating his donkey, and he even says, "That donkey saved your life. I would have spared her and killed you had she not seen me." So when I was praying for Daisy, she was not in pain, but just, kind of slowly fading away and just listless and calm and quiet. And just if you see her picture, her face is so precious and she's so sweet. And I prayed over her, and this just came out. Sometimes you're praying when stuff comes out, and, Holy Spirit brings it out, and you weren't really planning to say it. But I was just looking at her and how precious she was laying there, and I didn't want her to be scared. I just wanted her to be, have a peace about her. So when I was praying, I prayed just like Balaam's donkey, that she could see into the spirit realm, and that angels would surround her and protect her and keep her at peace and pain-free. And I hadn't really thought about that before then, but it says in here that the animals can see the angels. There's an example. The human couldn't, but the donkey could. So sometimes, our animals are so precious and innocent, like children or something along those lines. But that was a kind of a new revelation for me, using that story in that way. But I love that. And it made me feel good, that she could see that, and just thinking about how they could comfort her. So I did want to share that with you, just that little short word, that our animals can see in the spirit realm, and you can, if they're having a hard time, pray about that, and you can use that story and that scripture. And that's a good story. If you're an animal lover, that's a good story. So revisit that story this week and take a look at it. And I thank you so much for listening to our God story.